Today I want to talk to you about how to make it through MARSOC selection. MARSOC is the Marine Corps Special Operations Command, also known as the Marine Raiders, and the MARSOC selection is similar to several of the other Special Forces selections where I have friends in all of these groups that I reached out to for advice so that we can help you succeed and pass selection. Swimming is going to kill you. If you don't know how to swim and you're not comfortable in the water, that's where you will fall apart at MARSOC selection. I have witnessed it 100 times. In fact, when I went to ASBOC, I was the fastest swimmer on day one when we did the swim qual. Now, I will tell you, and I'm sure things have changed over the last decade, but when I went through, swim qual was full camies. You're in the blouse and the belt with the freaking pants on. So I would actually suggest making a pair of swim camies, as they call it, which is where you basically cut the bottoms out of your cargo pockets above your ankles so that your feet stick out, because that makes swimming a lot easier. And then you're going to want to get really good at the breaststroke and the side stroke. So breaststroke and side stroke. And I'll tell you this, we did a 300-meter swim test on like day 2 or 3 at ASBOC. And when I touched the wall at the end, I looked back and only one person had kicked off the wall. So I'm very good at the swimming piece, but that's because I was breaststroking comfortably. And the other guys either didn't really understand those two, because you can't freestyle at selection. So it's either breast or side. And they either didn't know how to do it or they just hadn't practiced those very much. I'm not sure, but I mean, I don't think I'm that good of a swimmer, but I smoked everybody. If you are a good swimmer and you're comfortable in the water, that's the big piece, the comfortable in the water, because you're going to be doing treading water drills and all kinds of stuff. The look up deep end fitness for like Marine Corps and Special Forces selection, because the swimming training, it is somewhat physical, but it's more mental. Like you're going to do stuff that exhausts you to the point where you might shallow water blackout. You're going to like underwater swims and treading water for long periods of time and passing a brick around and another brick around and all kinds of crazy things. So you need to be incredibly comfortable in the water as well as a decent swimmer. Rucking. You should be able to bare minimum 4 miles an hour with a 60-pound ruck. You want to work up to probably that 5th mile an hour to be competitive, and you've got to be able to ruck 12, 15, 16, 20 miles. You don't necessarily need to be doing 20-mile rucks before you get to assessment and selection, but you're going to be on your feet a ton. So like every other Special Forces selection video that I've made, understanding how to train and take care of your feet, like strength, toughen and take care of your feet, is going to be incredibly powerful. Having strong ankles and knees and good mobility, good recovery practices, good sleep, good hydration, good nutrition, all of that is paramount. But everything waist down, hips, knees, ankles, feet, it gets progressively more important as you get to the bottom. Your feet are going to make or break selection. That said, I made up for it on the run because I ran like a 21-minute 3-mile, and that was slow for the peers that I was there with. You've got to be top 10% Marine Corps 18, 19, 20, faster PFT time 3-mile, and the pull-ups, right? Like I crushed the pull-ups in the swim and I got eaten alive on the run. I was like 4th from the back, even with like a 21, 22-minute time, which is, I thought that was decent, but no, apparently not. This isn't just some dumb self-help book. This is everything I wish I'd known when I first joined the military. So scan the code, click the link in the description, download it for free today, and get yourself on the right path. You should also be really good with a map and compass, like protractor, azimuth, know your pacing, all these things. They will teach you, but you are going to want to be good at it ahead of time, because this is an incredibly important piece of making it through selection, because you're going to be just doing all kinds of land nav. In fact, when I had my knee injury, it was on a 16K land nav course, and they don't exactly do it in like an open field. It's not an easy navigation course. What happened was I was going down a hill and I lost my footing and slipped, and I got my ankle caught in a fallen like tree branch area, and the guy behind me crashed into me and just popped, partial tear on my IT band. Tried to make it through. I finished that ruck, but then the corpsman basically pulled me in the truck. It was like, nope, you're done. And they were like, if you DOR, you can come back. And that's, what the plan was until I got selected for recruiting duty. But I digress. I actually have a friend who got what he said peered out, meaning like the peer eval. At the end of assessment and selection, they're going to do a peer eval, which is your friends who went through assessment and selection with you, grading each and every person who's there. And if you're an asshole, or you're like a my way or the highway guy, or for whatever reason, your peers as a whole do not like you, you could be the top graduate of the class and you will not get selected. I actually have a friend who was incredibly fit and arguably probably passed at the top 5 or 10% of everybody at selection and didn't get selected. Only answer he got was peer eval. That's why. And if you get peer evaled out, there's no coming back. That's it. If you get injured or like some crazy circumstance, you can most likely come back to selection. But if you get peer evaled out, done. You're not coming back, because the Marines you were with didn't like you enough to want to serve with you on a team. And that is something that the Marine Corps is not going to give you a second chance to like game the system on. So be a good teammate, be a team player, be likable, be helpful, go the extra mile for people, right? Be a good human, essentially. So endurance, rucking, running, whatever, map and compass, taking care of yourself, recovery, feet, all those things, knowing how to swim and being comfortable in the water and being a good person. The only other piece to this puzzle that I think is just absolute no-brainer, paramount, don't quit. Don't go in with I might make it attitude. This is it. Burn the ships, all or nothing. Give it everything you've got, and you'll probably be okay. Don't quit. It's not an option, right? That's the way you have to look at this. You don't have to win the war today, but you can't die. Come back to fight again tomorrow. I actually attended MARSOC, the ASPOC, which is the Assessment and Selection Preparation and Orientation course. And what happened was, at least when I went through, you went through ASPOC, and once you made it through that 6-week course, you went directly to ANS, which is the Assessment and Selection. And the ASPOC was like, get you ready course, and then ANS was, you're going for it. I am somewhat familiar with this, which is good because you guys just have to laugh with me at this. I asked PJs, Green Berets, SEALs, and Raiders for feedback on how to make it through selection. And for every other branch, I got like essays, like just incredibly detailed feedback about everything. And from my 2 MARSOC buddies, I could basically write 1 sentence or paragraph. So my buddies that they said I could mention their name, right? Ulrich is just a good friend. Got out of the military. He was actually a me-upper. He was a musician in the Marine Corps. Then went through Special Forces selection. Jake, another Marine Raider veteran and a buddy, is actually the founder of Sangin Instruments. They make watches that are primarily worn by special operators and military veterans. Now, Sangin is a name that sticks out to me because Sangin, Afghanistan is actually where I hit my first IED in 2010. And so this brand as a whole means something to me. These guys are both awesome. Of course, I have a place in my heart for Marine Raiders because I tried to be one and couldn't make the cut. Life has a funny way of bringing it full circle, and now I get to help the next generation make it through. That being said, you have all the tools. You know what to do. It's up to you now. You got this.